Ancient Greece was a land of many city-states, each with its own unique culture and way of life. These city-states, known as polis, were scattered across the Greek mainland and islands, each developing its own identity and traditions. Some city-states, like Athens, were known for their art, philosophy, and democracy. Athens was a beacon of intellectual and artistic achievement, where great minds like Socrates and Plato pondered the mysteries of life. Others, like Corinth, were famous for their trade and wealth. Corinth's strategic location made it a bustling hub of commerce, connecting various parts of the ancient world through its extensive trade networks. But one city-state stood apart from all the rest: Sparta. Unlike its counterparts, Sparta's focus was not on art or trade, but on creating a society centered around military excellence. The Spartans were renowned throughout Greece for their military prowess and their unwavering discipline. Their soldiers were feared and respected, known for their bravery and skill in battle. Their entire society was geared towards one goal: creating the most formidable soldiers the world had ever seen. Every aspect of Spartan life was designed to support this objective, from their education system to their social structure. At the heart of this martial culture lay a rigorous training system known as the Agoge. This system was not just about physical training but also about instilling discipline, loyalty, and resilience. From the moment of birth, every Spartan citizen, male and female, was prepared for a life dedicated to the state. The needs of the individual were always secondary to the needs of the community. Boys were taken from their families at the age of 7 and enrolled in the Agoge, a system designed to mold them into fearless warriors. This separation from family was intended to foster independence and a strong bond with their peers. This essay will delve into the Spartan training system, exploring its key components and evaluating its effectiveness in achieving its objective of creating a dominant military force. We will examine the various stages of the Agoge and the values it sought to instill in young Spartans. The origins of the Spartan way of life, and the Agoge in particular, are often shrouded in mystery and legend. One name, however, stands out prominently in any discussion of Spartan law and custom: Lycurgus. Considered the Lawgiver of Sparta, Lycurgus is credited with transforming Spartan society from an ordinary Greek city-state into the militaristic powerhouse it became. While historians debate the historicity of Lycurgus, with some arguing he was more myth than man, the impact of the laws and systems attributed to him is undeniable. He is said to have introduced the concept of the Agoge, the rigorous training system that shaped every Spartan citizen. He also established the Ephorate, a council of elders that held significant power, and the Gerousia, an assembly of Spartan elders. These reforms, whether enacted by Lycurgus or a combination of figures over time, laid the groundwork for a society wholly focused on military excellence. Imagine a life where everything, from your meals to your friendships, is dictated by the state. In ancient Sparta, this was not just a concept but a reality that shaped every aspect of life. That was the reality for Spartan boys enrolled in the Agoge, a rigorous education and training program. Taken from their mothers at the tender age of 7, they were placed into groups, or agalai, where they lived and trained under the watchful eyes of older boys and adult instructors. This separation was designed to instill a sense of unity and loyalty to the state above all else. The Agoge was not merely a training program, it was a way of life. It encompassed every aspect of their existence, from physical training to moral education. The Agoge was divided into 3 main stages, each designed to mold the boys into ever more capable warriors. These stages were meticulously planned to ensure the development of various skills and attributes. From ages 7 to 12, they underwent basic military training and learned discipline and obedience. This foundational stage was crucial for instilling the core values of Spartan society. Between the ages of 12 and 18, the training intensified, focusing on physical strength, stamina, and fighting skills. This period was marked by rigorous physical challenges and competitions. Finally, from 18 to 20, they were considered young soldiers, putting their training into practice and patrolling the borders of Spartan territory. This final stage was where they proved their readiness for full military service. This comprehensive and lifelong approach to military training set the Spartans apart from their Greek counterparts. It was this relentless focus on discipline and excellence that made the Spartan warriors legendary. The first stage of the Agoge, from ages 7 to 12, was all about laying the foundation for a life of discipline and obedience. The boys lived in communal barracks, far from the comforts of home and family. Their days were filled with rigorous physical activities designed to strengthen their bodies and build endurance. They learned to run, jump, wrestle, and fight with wooden swords and shields. Overseeing their training was a state-appointed official known as the Paidonomos. Typically an older Spartan man who had earned respect for his military achievements, the Paidonomos held immense authority over the boys. He was responsible for their education, discipline, and moral upbringing. Punishment for transgressions was swift and harsh, instilling in the boys a deep sense of obedience and respect for authority. Section 5. Masters of War Physical Training in the Agoge. As the boys progressed through the Agoge, the training only became more demanding. From the age of 12, the emphasis shifted towards honing their combat skills and transforming them into formidable warriors. Spartan boys were trained in all manner of combat, from hand-to-hand fighting to the use of various weapons. They learned to fight with swords, spears, and shields, becoming proficient in both offensive and defensive tactics. Physical strength and endurance were paramount. They ran long distances, often barefoot and carrying heavy packs to build stamina. They practiced their swordsmanship for hours on end, their bodies becoming accustomed to the weight of the weapons and the movements of combat. But Spartan training went beyond simply learning to fight. It was about instilling a deep-seated warrior ethos. Section 6. A mind forged in steel, mental, and social conditioning. The Spartans understood that physical prowess alone does not a warrior make. Mental toughness, resilience, and unwavering courage were equally important. To cultivate these qualities, the Agoge incorporated a range of psychological and social conditioning techniques. One such method was to instill a sense of competition among the boys. They were constantly pitted against each other, whether in physical contests, athletic competitions, or even intellectual pursuits. The boys were also subjected to harsh conditions to develop their resilience. They wore simple clothes, often just a single cloak, regardless of the weather. They slept on hard beds made of reeds, and their food was intentionally kept bland and meager. This constant state of deprivation was designed to inure them to hardship, and teach them to endure even the most trying conditions without complaint. Section 7. Spartan Society. Living by the Sword. The Agoge was not simply a training program, it was a reflection of the values that permeated every aspect of Spartan society. Spartan citizens, known as Spartiates, were essentially a warrior caste. They were forbidden from engaging in trade or manual labor, activities considered beneath their station. Instead, their lives were dedicated to military training and service to the state. Spartan women, while not participating directly in combat, played a crucial role in supporting this martial society. They were expected to be strong and resilient, capable of managing households and raising children in the absence of their husbands, who were often away on military campaigns. Spartan women were renowned for their independent spirit and their unwavering support for the Spartan way of life. The phrase, "come back with your shield or on it," famously uttered by a Spartan mother to her son departing for war, epitomizes the Spartan attitude towards duty and sacrifice. Section 8. Legacy of the Agoge. A brutal success. The Agoge, with its emphasis on harsh discipline, physical hardship, and unwavering obedience, produced some of the most formidable soldiers the ancient world had ever seen. This rigorous training system was designed to forge warriors who were not only physically strong, but also mentally resilient. The Spartans were renowned for their bravery, their discipline on the battlefield, and their unwavering commitment to victory. Their ability to maintain formation and execute complex maneuvers under pressure was unparalleled. Their victory over the Persians at the Battle of Thermopylae, where a small band of Spartans held off a vastly larger Persian army for days, stands as a testament to their martial prowess. This battle has become legendary, symbolizing the ultimate sacrifice for one's homeland. However, the Agoge was undeniably a brutal system. Young boys were taken from their families at a tender age and subjected to harsh training regimens that tested their limits. It robbed individuals of their childhoods, separated families, and instilled a rigid social hierarchy that left little room for individual expression or dissent. The emotional and psychological toll on these young warriors was immense. The question of whether the ends justified the means remains a subject of debate among historians to this day. Some argue that the Agoge's success in creating elite soldiers cannot be overlooked, while others highlight the severe human cost. While the Agoge undoubtedly succeeded in creating a powerful military force, it did so at a significant human cost. The sacrifices made by these young Spartans were profound and lasting. The Spartan way of life, while admired for its discipline and martial excellence, serves as a stark reminder of the potential for brutality inherent in any system that prioritizes the collective over the individual. It is a legacy that continues to provoke thought and discussion.